This is about those days when the old man was spending his time in Marban. By this time, the fame of Buddha had spread far and wide. People from far and wide used to come to Buddha to get solutions to their worries and problems. One such day, when Buddha was preaching to his disciples in Marban, a middle-aged man was coming towards Buddha with his young son. When he reached near the preaching place, Buddha cast a glance at him and gestured him to sit. When the sermon was over and all the people left from there, Buddha called that person near him and asked him to sit. There was greenery all around there. The weather was very pleasant, and the place was resonating with the sounds of various birds. Seeing such a scene, that person was feeling immense peace from within. After this, Buddha asked that person the reason for coming. Then the person said, "Tathagata, I have brought my son to meet you after a long journey of 2 days. He is my only son, and he is always tired. It is as if there is no life in him. His temperament has also become quite irritable. If we say anything to him, he gets angry at our small things. His eyesight has also become weak before his age, and his hair has also started turning gray. I am unable to understand why he looks so old at such a young age. Tathagata, I am very worried about my son's health. When I took my son to Vedji, he gave some medicine and said, tell your son to take less stress. He takes too much stress in his mind. That's why his condition has become like this. But even after I explained it a lot to him, he did not understand the meaning of stress. I do not know what stress is, what are the reasons for it, and how to remove it from my son's mind. But first of all, I want to understand what stress is. That's why I came to you, Tathagata. Please solve my problem." Hearing this, Buddha looks at his son very carefully, looks at his face, looks at his eyes, and then he also checks the pulse of his hands. After doing all this, Buddha tells the person that no one wants to take stress, but still it grips the minds of so many people like termites. And the person does not even know that he is living under stress. But if a person understands the action of stress well and makes a scale about stress by which he can know how much stress he is under, then he can also find a solution to this problem. First of all, you should understand what stress is. Whenever a person is doing some work but his mind is wandering somewhere far away, in imagination, then a distance is created between his body and mind. The greater this distance, the more unconscious the person is, and this distance and tension between body and mind is called stress. After all, why does a person become full of agility and happiness after playing a favorite game, even though he has tired his body? The thing to understand is that while playing, the mind and body work together. He is completely focused on the game, due to which there is no distance between the body and mind, and no tension is created. And if there was any tension in the mind, that also goes away. But on the contrary, when we do a work that we do not like, then our body is doing that work, but our mind is wandering somewhere far away in imaginations, due to which a distance is created between the body and the mind, and stress is born. That is why a person should do only one work at a time and put all the power of his body and mind on this one work, so that there is no tension in the person. After this, Buddha said that there are 8 main reasons for the creation of stress, and the one who understands these reasons can remain stress-free throughout his life. The first reason in Mukarnaya Karma is being overly ambitious. Being ambitious is a good thing, but have you ever noticed that a person's goals are never fulfilled? As soon as one of his goals is fulfilled, he starts running towards the next one. When the second one is fulfilled, he starts running towards the third one, and in this way, he keeps moving round and round throughout his life to achieve his goals. That is why a person who is overly ambitious and who has set big goals can never live in the present. His mind is always busy making plans for the future. His body lives in the present, but his mind lives in the future, due to which a distance is created between the mind and the body, and he starts living a stressful life. Listen to this from Buddha's mouth. That boy said, "Buddha, then it means that we should not become a target, because setting a target is also an ambition." On this, Buddha said that setting a target in life is not a wrong thing, but the problem arises when he focuses his entire attention on the results of that target and keeps worrying about its result. A person should know how to live in the present. You set a target and work hard to achieve that goal, but at the same time, you should also know that you are living in the present and can only live in the present. Buddha further said that the second biggest cause of stress is jealousy. When a person is filled with jealousy and envy, his mind starts rotting from within. Jealousy is an internal wound. Internal wound means wound of the mind. Wound of the body can heal, but wound of the mind can never heal. That is why a person should never be jealous of happiness and progress of others, because jealousy is the cause of stress. After this, Buddha told the third reason of stress and said that not doing work with enthusiasm also creates stress in the mind. We will not be able to concentrate on the work which we do not like to do, or the work in which we are not interested. Our body will sit there, but our mind will fly in imaginations. This creates a distance between body and mind, and the person gets stressed. That is why a person should always work according to his interest. If a person finds out which work he likes to do, and he makes this work the aim of his life, and that work does not become work for him, but a game. Then Buddha said that the fourth reason for stress is to have expectations from someone else. Buddha pointed towards the person and said that being a father, you must have many expectations from your son. Your son should become a very successful person, make your name shine, live the kind of life you want, listen to everything you say, but have all the expectations of anyone ever been fulfilled till date. Whenever a person starts having expectations from someone else, he unknowingly starts creating stress for himself. Just think that if your son is not working according to you and is not able to become what you want him to become, then definitely stress will catch your mind, and you'll start living a life full of stress. And under the influence of this stress, you will behave in such a way and say such things that your relationship with your son will get worse. That is why a person should have as few expectations from others as possible. If you want to be completely stress-free, then stop having expectations from others. After this, Buddha said that physical pain is also a reason for stress in a person. When a person is going through some physical pain, and his full attention should be on his physical pain. The person is in pain and he keeps thinking about it the whole day, due to which his mind gets filled with thoughts of sorrow, and in such a situation, the person starts living under stress. Hearing this, the person said, Buddha, physical pain can happen to anyone, so what if the person will live in stress throughout his life? Answering this, Buddha said that a person should understand that our life is the basis of sorrows. As life progresses, sorrows and diseases come in it, and then death also comes in the end. Diseases are an integral part of human life. No one can avoid them. It is just that in some people's life, it comes before time, and some it comes later. When a person's mind understands this well, then he will not take much stress by thinking about his disease, because it is an integral part of our life. And this, a person should also keep practicing physically. He should also give place to exercise and healthy lifestyle in his life, so that body can remain healthy for a long time and work properly. The next reason for stress is not giving time to understand your plans. Some people start working on the plan without thinking before any idea comes to their mind, and when they fail in the work, they get stressed because they did not gather complete information about it before starting the work. Before starting any work, a person should think properly about its good and bad consequences. A person should also think about what will he do after this if this plan is not successful. Therefore, a person should give enough time to understand his plans properly so that he does not get stressed later due to the plan. The seventh biggest reason for stress is procrastination, postponing today's work to tomorrow. You must have heard this saying that laziness is the biggest enemy of human body. Due to laziness, a person postpones today's work to tomorrow, and then postponing the work becomes his habit. The work of a person who postpones work to tomorrow is never completed on time, and even if it is completed somehow, it is not completed. So it is not as good as it could have been, and then this thing creates stress in the person. But postponing work or doing work at the last moment is a habit. That is why the person, even if he does not want to, becomes a victim of this habit again and again and keeps postponing the work. And then when the deadline of the work comes near, he tries to complete the work filled with stress. That is why to remain stress-free, a person will have to give up the habit of postponing work, and this is possible only when the person decides to finish the work before time. The last and the most important reason for stress is thinking too much. Continuous thinking is also a disease, and it is found most in the person who only imagines, who keeps thinking about past events and future things, who keeps guessing unnecessarily. That is why a person should control the habit of thinking too much. For this, one should keep himself busy in work as much as possible and should make the practice of meditation a part of his life every day. Hearing all these things from Buddha, the person folded his hands and said, Buddha, my son is only 20 years old, and he does not have enough understanding to follow all the things told by you at once. Please tell me an easy way to remain stress-free so that my son can follow it and also remain stress-free. Hearing this prayer of the person, Buddha replied after thinking for a while, if you cannot follow so many things, then there is a very easy method for this. You concentrate on doing one work at a time. Whatever work you are doing, do only that work at that time. Concentrate only on it, and if your mind wanders here and there, then as soon as you remember, put it back to that work again. This is the easiest and best way to remain stress-free. When you eat only food at that time, enjoy its full taste, experience it. When you walk, then concentrate only on walking. By this, both your mind and your body will remain focused at one place. There will be no distance between the two, which is the main cause of stress. Therefore, as far as possible, eat only at one time. Try to do only one thing and that too with full concentration. Friends, I hope you have learned a lot from this story. Thank you.